Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video tutorial where our focus today is on the Google Meet application, and this application is similar to that of Zoom and other video conferencing platforms where persons can engage in meetings that includes multiple persons. All right, so for this session our main focus will be on how to go about scheduling a meet that enables host control, and this includes allowing your guests to be able to wait until you let them into the meeting, among other things. All right, also we will be looking at two locations that we can proceed to schedule a meeting, and that is through the Meets app as well as through the Google Classroom. All right, so the first one that we'll begin with is through the use of the Meet app. All right, so I will now proceed to the grid icon, which contains our G Suite applications, and then from here I am locating the Meet app. All right, so currently I am now seeing that. I click on that and it should direct us back to the Meet platform for the Google Meet. All right, so at this point we have two options. We can either select to start a new meeting, or if it is that we are a guest, then the guest would be provided with a code that they could use to enter that meeting. But for this purpose, as we stated, we are generating a link that would be used to schedule the meeting. All right, so I will proceed to click on the new meeting option. We have three options showing in this pop-up box. We have create a meeting for later, and what this does is to automatically generate a meet link that doesn't necessarily focus on making adjustment to permissions and so forth. The second one is to start an instant meeting, so this would proceed to having the meeting taking place right there and then as soon as you click on that option. The third option now is to schedule the meeting that might happen at a later point, and then this would enable us to make some adjustment to what it is that we want happening for a particular meeting setting. So I'm going to proceed to click on the schedule in the Google Calendar, and this automatically takes me to the Google platform. All right, or the calendar rather. So the calendar option gives us a number of things where we can add the title of that particular meet, we can make adjustment to the dates, and we can also generate a number of things. But we will not be covering all of these because our main focus is just to identify the meeting settings connected to the Google Meet from this point. So I'm just going to proceed to add a title. Let's say Google Meet session, and then you can make the adjustments with your date, time zone, and so forth. I'll leave those as is for now. All right, so I'm seeing this section where we are able to make up selections rather for the Google Meet, right? So in this section to the right, I'm seeing a few things. I'm seeing where I can go ahead and copy the Meet information. I'm seeing a settings option or the video call option where I can make additional option selection. I can see the conference details, and I can also remove the conference from this calendar. All right, so clicking on the conference details, it just gives us a drop down as to giving us our Meet link as well as the numbers that can be used to join in on this particular Zoom. The settings is the focus for this option that we're looking at. So I'm clicking on the video call option setting, and then this is where our main focus is on. So for this section, what we want to do is that we want to disable the quick access option in this. So when we disable that, what it does is to when it comes on to the time for the meeting, it would permit the person who is hosting the meeting, they would have to be the person to join first. So even if others have clicked on the link and are waiting to join in, they cannot enter that meeting until the host has joined that. Other options in that, only persons who were given the link would be able to join once the host has enabled for the meeting to take place, right? And in this option, as soon as persons click on the link and want to join, a prompt is given to the host to indicate the persons who want to join the meeting. So if it is the case where there are persons who were not invited or persons who the host doesn't want in that meeting, then the host would be given a prompt to indicate whether they want to decline that person or allow them to join. All right. Also, once the quick access is deactivated, persons who are joining without having their correct name, such as alias and so forth, they are unable to join, because again, the host is able to see the names of the persons wanting to join. All right. And then the last option, only the host can dial out of the meeting. All right. So for this, we would deactivate the quick access option to enable, for the most part, allow for the host to join first. And another one that follows is to ensure that when the host joins, nobody joins before the host. Every other person would have to ask for permission or receive the permission from the host to join. So that is what this option enables. Once we have deselected or disabled the quick access from the calendar point, then we proceed to save. All right, so this enables for the options to be saved on our meeting icons. There are two ways that we can copy the meet information from this to share with our audience. Again, we can proceed back to the video conference details and we can copy the meet ID from this point. So this is the link that would be shared to our guests, or we could go ahead and select the copy conference info. What the copy conference info does is to copy all of this information from here. So even if the host go ahead and select this, they could send out everything, and if it is that they just want to send out the meet link only, then they could remove all of the other information from that. So again, that is two ways in which the host can go about sharing the meet link or the meet ID. All right, so I click on copy, and then at this point, whether it is through the classroom that they would want to share this information, or they probably would want to share it via another form of communication tool, then they could go ahead and do so once they have selected the copy information from there. And once that has been completed, then we could proceed to save this for the purpose of the calendar, and it would have been added to that calendar. Our second method is through the use of the Google Classroom. So as you can see, I'm currently within a classroom that I've created for this purpose, and I'm currently on the stream area. So on the stream area, we have the option to generate a meet link, but I'm not going to do this as yet, just to show you how it is that the process takes place. So again, we're trying to create a meet link through the use of the calendar so that we can make our own manipulations for the purpose of host control. So I'm proceeding to the classwork area, and we have the option for the meet, and we also have the option for the calendar. So for this purpose, I'm clicking on the Google Calendar, and then this would take us to the calendar, right? Take us to the calendar. And for this, again, I'm clicking on the create. So this is just maybe a little bit well, not much of a difference. It's just that this one is done from within the classroom in terms of scheduling. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and add my title, so Google Meets, right? Google Meets. And then for this, I'm gonna click on, so there's a slight difference. For this one, I would have to click on the option to add the Google Meet video conference. So I'm clicking on this option and then it generates a Meet link, right? So from here, we would have observed the others before. I'm gonna proceed to the settings tab, the video call option tab, and then I'm deselecting the quick access. Again, the reason for deselecting is to ensure that the person who is hosting the meeting is the one who joins first, and automatically from there they would decide on who are the persons that they are admitting to the meeting. So ensure that this is deselected for the purpose that the host gets to join the meeting first. If it is that you want your guests or your participants to join ahead of you, then you could leave this activated. But for the most part, we're going to keep it deactivated to ensure that the host is the person who gets on first, maybe to set up or whatever purpose, allow the host to join first, and then we go ahead and save this information. We can proceed at this point again to copy the conference info, or we could use the option to view the conference detail and then copy the link directly from this point. So I can do both, so let me go ahead and show you how both work. So for this one, we only need the Meet ID, so I'm just copying the Meet ID from here, and then when I proceed back to the classroom, what I could do is to go ahead and maybe add this. So let's say Meet link, right? And then I could click on the add link option, or I could also add it in the description. Again, it is up to the person. So I'm gonna click on the add link option, so you know when the persons enter through the classroom, they would just easily click on the link and then it takes them to the Google Meet platform. So I'm pasting the link here and then click the option that says add, and as you can see, you're now looking at the Google Meet's link icon as well. So I could go ahead and post this, so when the persons get in, they can be able to see this. And of course, if you're using for educational purpose, what you would like to do is to ensure that there was a topic just to indicate the purpose of this link. All right, so that was through the use of the video conference details. If I click on the option to copy, what this does is to copy the phone information, the video link information, and every other additional thing that is accessible through this. So I'm gonna return to the classroom, and then I'm creating a material just to show you how this works. So the title, Google Meet, maybe 2 for this one, and I'm just posting the information in the description for you to be able to see that. Once posted, what it does is to give the overview of everything, the date for which that particular link would be applying for, the name of that type of meeting, right? The meeting info in terms of the video link and the phone numbers attached. So what you could proceed to do from here is to just copy the link, right? Copy the link and paste it again in the add link area, and then add it so that the person, when they join and see this, they can automatically click on the link. Again, for the purpose of educators, you can ensure to add a topic just to indicate what is happening within this platform. You can remove all of this if you want, as well as you can allow it to stay. It is up to the person who is carrying out all of this. Another thing to note, this link can be reused. So even though you added it to the calendar for a particular day or time, the link can be used for different occasions. So let's say the sessions are held weekly or bi-weekly, etc. Then this same link can be used for the different occasions. So again, it is up to the host as to the preference for this. All right, so this would have covered how is it that we proceed to generate Meet links, to allowing the host to have full control as to what is happening on that platform. Thank you so very much for tuning into this first session on the Google Meet application. For the next video tutorial to come, we will be looking at the features of the Google Meet particular platform. Again, thank you so very much for tuning in, and I do hope that you would have been clarified on the different aspects of this.